first of all, I just want to acknowledge the 5 a.m. start and why that is so important as part of the routine and as part of the habits that I've built into my routine and my life. You've probably heard me mention it a few times on the videos, but I've never really talked it out. And I think it's quite important given that my videographer was with me just before 5 a.m. today. When that concept first came to me, I thought, well, you know, it sounds a bit self-absorbed, but I think it really is important. And I think as human beings, we should have some dedicated time for ourselves. And as a mother and a working mother, that dedicated time becomes very, very difficult to find. Having that extra 2 hours to organize myself, arrange my routine for the day is really, really important. You either were an organized person or you weren't an organized person. And I don't think that is the case. I think you have to choose to create routines for yourself. That for me meant building in lots of different routines and lots of different habits. So first thing I do in the morning is make my coffee, answer some calls. My mum actually is based in Dubai, so she tends to be awake at my 5 a.m., which is her 8 a.m. And so I've already got a couple of messages from her this morning. I'm quite keen on learning something every day, even if I can only do it for 20 minutes. It's hard, but it's important for me to get into it. And it's just one of those things that you've got to kind of discipline yourself into doing. So I've been managing so far, so we'll see how that goes. This is my daughter's spelling section. So the first thing she needs to do in the morning is spelling, read, and some English. So I'm gonna make sure her book is out, her spelling is out. Generally give her a page of comprehension to do so that she can do English, vocab, and book. Child number 2, put them in a different space so they don't end up arguing. The baby needs to read and do his maths. Other child, and then we've got another child who actually likes his brother, so he can sit on the same side as him. So he needs his book and his spelling. He gets his spelling from here. So we actually have a spelling jar. And we have this very helpful vocabulary flashcards, and every time they learn something, they stick it in here. So he is going to test himself on these words and then stick them back in the jar to make sure he knows what he's doing. Okay, so the word of the day yesterday was flawless, and today it's humiliated. I'm not sure how positive that word is to start the day off with. Maybe we'll change it. Tempestuous, I like that. Also not so positive. So my son has just called me and he's up early. Obviously he's not feeling very well, so I've got to get to him first. You want water?
No.
You want to go back to bed?
With you.
With me? But Mommy has to go to the gym. Okay, I come to bed for a minute. Okay, so we've got Ray Ray sleeping in here too. The gym for me is a really important part of my daily routine, my weekly routine, and my kind of long-term goals and strategies for my own life. So I was never a gym goer, ever. I hated the gym. I hated sports at school. I could never, ever run. I mean, I could barely walk on a treadmill, but it has become something that I feel very strongly about. I think going to the gym every morning gives me that inspiration I need for the rest of the day. It mentally balances, my mind and my thoughts, and really allows me to feel like I'm on top of the world. So it's a great place to start my day. Okay, so the gym is getting kind of busy, and it's kind of embarrassing to film in the gym when lots of people are watching, and I mean, they're actually not watching, they're not interested, but they probably don't want me to be filming them. And they are the people I see every single morning. So I don't want to embarrass myself. So we are done filming today at the gym. It is now 7 a.m. Hopefully my kids have started working, but they had a very late night last night because of my younger son. So I don't know how that's going to have gone. Coming home, the kids sometimes really get this routine and have it down to a T and they know exactly what they're doing. But today, everyone is all over the place. One has started doing her homework. Celine has started doing her homework brilliantly when I was out. And Rayan has kind of not really started because he's done everything the wrong way around. So instead of getting changed and coming down, he's in his pajamas because he says he's hungry and hasn't started his homework yet. So this is going to be a long journey to getting him ready to school. But we'll get there. And baby isn't feeling well, so he is upstairs and not even downstairs. So it's been a kind of tragic homework morning this morning, but it's okay because some days are like this and sometimes they do really get it right and sometimes they're a little bit all over the place, which is fine. Today is a more wobbly morning, but we'll get there. Good morning. Hi, sweetie. Hi. Good girl and good morning. Look at you. Okay, so on the weekend you have 2 days to be together.
And then on the next day we're thinking we're doing. Tried to convince you to let us on the Monday not have school, but no, like.
I mean, I'd rather you don't go when there's like the play. Like you could take today.
But that's literally letting everyone down, and I'm gonna be a bit like.
Okay, so you've got reading, spellings, and maths, right? You're getting on with that. Good girl.
Can I go to pick up with one of my friends?
Yes.
Because you didn't let me go with Oliver.
You can. If you want me to invite Oliver, I can. Because I don't think I've only got 5 tickets. So if you guys are 4, yeah, you could go. You and Rafferty, Oliver, Celine, and Salma. Didn't we say that when you were eating breakfast, it would be the best use of time would be to read at the same time? And also, why are you not changed?
So we're so hungry.
Okay, so let's then eat really super quickly because we don't want to be late. We're still going to change, all right? And do our homework. You are such a good girl. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, me too.
I'm kind of, semi-proud of you. I'm semi-proud that you woke up, but I would have been prouder if you were
I barely even woke up.
actually in your uniform. Okay, I'm just going to very quickly, so that because apparently if you repeat these words many, many times, they're easier to learn. So let's just very quickly, what does procure mean? Obtain or get. I'm going to procure you some beautiful, I don't know, teddy bears. Punctual, make sure you are yeah. Ramble.
It's to keep holding on.
Okay, so those you know, those you need to know. My super amazing hairdresser is late and she needed to be here for 7 a.m. so that I could leave at 8 a.m. to be able to drop off the kids at 8 because they need to be at school at 8:15. But she was late, and so invariably I'm now late to drop off my son. But also, not only am I late to drop off my son, I've just realized that actually I've got to be at his school for a show and tell. And I have to really squeeze that in because this morning, the doctor told me yesterday that I could bring in my son who hasn't been feeling very well and I've got to be there for 9:30. So I'm going to find a way to squish this all in, but I'm already running late and starting to get a little bit stressed. I'm going to be very casual today because my son has just reminded me that he's got show and tell this morning at school, which means I've got to run in there for 10 minutes and just quickly look at his books. So I thought I'll be casual and then wear a blazer when we're off out to meetings and clients and everything else. My hairdresser is late. At some point I'm going to need to call the hospital back and tell them that my son did not take too well to his antibiotics and actually vomited them up yesterday. So can you sit down please? Do your vocabulary first, write it out, read it, learn what the words are. I have no problem with you filming me telling off my kids because it happens all the time. Frankly, it's definitely part of my day in my life. Yalla mama, move. Sweet, this is from Celine's teacher. I got them flowers. You know now everybody splits the money pot for the teachers and I feel they don't get a very, what?
A good present that way.
Yeah, they get a good present, but then I feel like, you know, teachers used to get so much more, like now they'll get a voucher or something. Maybe it's nice to have flowers. Ray, we've got 2 bunches of flowers to give to your teachers today.
Yeah, I know.
So let's take them with us and let's run. I'm gonna drop off Ray and then we're gonna go out together, okay? Love you.
Oh my God.
Okay, not right now, later. Okay, later. Let's go. Bye, Susie, we'll be back soon.
Yesterday I went kayaking and
Seatbelt. He went kayaking yesterday, had a really good time, and he said that everyone was better at it than him. See, if this was my daughter, she'd be embarrassed of me at school looking like this, but my son doesn't really care.
It's gonna be hot today.
So we have to say goodbye to you. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're on our way to the hospital to see the doctor for my son, but I've just had a call from the doctor himself saying that unfortunately in the evening he had someone come in who now is quite urgent, needs to be seen, so we're gonna have to be pushed back, which means I have to push back a different appointment and see if I can switch it around. So I am now racing back to the office to see if I can rearrange. Come on then, what do you think you might get from Starbucks? I like your tracksuit. So red. You'll just get anything. Anything or something in particular? Anything else? You want mango? Mango? No? And could I please have a small extra hot cappuccino? Zayn has just had quite a big operation to one of his, or quite a serious, I should say, quite a serious operation to one of his knees and 3 sets of stitches in his knees because he fell over and fell into some glass where obviously there'd been, someone had smashed some glass in a car window. Funny the effects of something like that, it doesn't just affect the driver of the car but ends up with someone in hospital. So, so important to be careful. Okay, so I've driven off without my coffee because it's already becoming a full-on morning. Anyway, I drive back, grab my coffee. For those of you watching at home, I have not just left my child in the car. There is Rukmini and Johnny, film crew here. Got my coffee. Walking into the office is always dangerous because every time I walk in, I get hit with so many different questions and things that actually a simple rearranging a meeting didn't actually happen. And in fact, I got bogged down with other things and now I'm missing the meeting that I was supposed to rearrange. So the day is going to be a little bit stressful and everything is going to have to be either moving faster or we're going to end up late. So fingers crossed. So we're going first to Jo Malone. So Harry, if Mehek is doing the plans, as soon as you get this email out, can you start on the bathrooms immediately, please? Okay, so I am taking everyone in the car, office, videographer, child. So I've arrived halfway to the hospital and actually to Jo Malone and realized I am never going to be able to do both and be on time for both. So I've decided my son is a priority. I'm actually going to head back to the hospital and be a little bit early, but take him first and then go to Jo Malone after. Okay, so diverting to the NHS because we won't have time. You're going to go to the Losers Zoo and then I'm coming to meet you, okay? So we're gonna... I've got to go down now, all right? Wait, this way. Hold on, we're nearly there, look. Oh, we've got red walls just like your tracksuit. This is children's outpatients. This is us. I'm here to see the senior registrar at 11 a.m, he said. So we've got 30 minutes to get to Jo Malone and we've also got a meeting at 1, which I cannot miss. So I'm gonna see if we can do the meeting online on my phone, but hopefully Lola's got access to the presentations in the office so she can do it from there. and I'm ready to go. Isn't this the most beautiful place ever? This is the sofa.
Can they make it with?
Can you add this in as a specialist finish? Because they will know how to make that sofa better than anyone else. And also, depending on where they're based, maybe we can get him to come and sit on the sofa, because one of his biggest problems was, how comfortable is this sofa? Yeah, I'll do some shouting. Hello.
Hello, yeah,
We're only like 2 hours late, aren't we? How are you?
hello. Yeah, good, you?
I'm really sorry. Okay, so we've just completed a very successful meeting at Grosvenor Square, and actually we're very late to that meeting, so I'm now rushing to go and get my daughter, and I think I might have to do some bribery with a little bit of shopping to say sorry, because I'm kind of late for her and I had to go and get someone else to pick her up instead of me, which I wanted to be there myself, but I couldn't be. So now we are going to be going back to my daughter, picking her up, going for my daughter's school drinks, and then going for a dinner of my own. So busy day. As you know, it started very early, but we are getting there. I feel like I'm kind of 3/4 through today, so nearly there. Tonight, I thought I would reward myself by having a nice dinner out with some friends, but the only problem is I'm super excited about the dinner, but my son, who's unwell and hasn't slept for 3 days because he's had a really bad fever, still has a fever, so I'm a little bit worried about going out, but also I haven't slept. So part of me kind of wants to go to bed, but then I would miss getting dressed up. That's why I keep telling myself, go for it so you can get dressed up. The funnest part of going out for me is the dressing up part, the funnest part. I mean, that's terrible, because I also do enjoy the going out part, but I love the part where I get to dress up. Funnest part. Even if it's casual dressing up, doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. Still is dressing up. Okay, so this was my son's old bedroom. And so we've moved everything out, the bed, the cupboards, everything. And we've literally just painted everything white so that we've got a clean canvas to work with. So you can see the painters have just left. It's actually 5 p.m. So they've just left and it's kind of clear and ready for whatever we're going to do in here. So at the moment, if you're wondering where all of the stuff has gone, I take you there. Now, get ready for this, because it is going to be a little bit shocking. So this is our playroom, which is full of everything from my son's bedroom. So poor guy really needs his room ASAP and needs his clothes back and his cupboards back. So we're going to be working on that all week, and we're going to be working really, really hard because we haven't got long. I do not want him sleeping in my bed for another 7 days. So 7 days is what we've got. I've got a joinery company coming in to do the wardrobes, and then obviously we're going to get the headboards done. You might have seen us pick some fabrics, so we are well on our way, but literally we've got 7 days. So it is going to be difficult, but we'll get there. So currently this looks like a mess, but it will look better. So this is going to be the second room we start on. So I'm going to get my son's room done first and hopefully have that look amazing, and then create this playroom, and hopefully it won't look like this.